Hello, I wanted to walk you through an application we've been building, actually two applications to be precise, which help with site analysis. So we've been approached by a number of organisations that are interested in either retail organisations that are looking to place new stores in various locations and assess those sites, and also real estate folks that are looking at particular homes and the areas those homes are in. So a couple of questions have come up. The first one is we would like, this is clients asking us, they would like to not any longer have to use pen and paper when they're out in the field. So people that are going to view new potential sites carry folders of information about those new sites that their analytics teams have put together for them. They've asked, or we've been asked, to do that on an iPad or an Android tablet or phone. So we've been investigating that, and we've come up with really a prototype at the minute, but it's work that we're continuing and will eventually be launched. You're looking at a web application which is essentially an integration of ArcGIS Online and DropBox. ArcGIS Online is Esri's GIS and mapping platform, cloud-based platform. What I didn't show you in this application is we've actually logged into our own account in ArcGIS Online, so this data is protected data. We also like DropBox. DropBox is a very simple sharing application for documentation. So we wondered how an implementation which integrated those two might work for us. So what we've done here is we've actually integrated those two applications together. Now what I'm doing is zooming into the map. You saw two blue markers on the map. Those are actually potential locations for new retail sites. By tapping on one of the markers, you actually get some information, just some high-level information about the site, the address, the size, and some notes on that actual site. But if we wanted to dig deeper than that, let's go ahead and look at DropBox. So on the right-hand side, there's a button which allows us to get into DropBox. Let's just step back one level. What we've done is we've actually logged into DropBox, so a separate login to our own DropBox account. So again, it's protected data, this. We're looking now at the top level directories in DropBox, and we've had our analytics team prepare a load of documentation that relates to the two sites we were just talking about. The one we're interested in at the moment is the Cottonwood Heights site, and we've got a directory there which is the Cottonwood site. Let's tap on that. In there we can have a slew of documents relating to that site. At the minute we've just got three. We've got PDFs and JPEGs. The PDFs we can view separately, and if we just hold down our finger on that PDF we get the ability to open it, or copy it, or add it to our reading list for later viewing. So we can actually read that documentation before we go to the site, or on the drive to the site, or even when we're there. There could be a whole lot of documentation that we would want to read. Suppose we just wanted to look at some imagery that people had collected on that site. Well, there's an aerial image of that site we're driving to. There could be a lot of other images there that we would want to look at. So any documentation that relates to that site we've got. So that integration of ArcGIS Online and DropBox is very simple, very straightforward, and provides a lot of power and takes the pen and paper away from people who are actually working in the field. And this application, as I mentioned, it runs on a PC, it runs on a smartphone, and it also runs on a tablet as well. And the interface is designed for all of those types of devices, so cross-platform, cross-device. Let's suppose we want to dig deeper. We've looked at the documentation, and we actually want to produce some dynamic data. We've got another application we just opened up here. Again, this is in ArcGIS Online. We've stepped through the login process to avoid having to do it in this video. We're still interested in the Cottonwood Heights site, so we're going to zoom in there again. What we want to do is get some dynamic data about that particular site. So we've got a tool here which uses the geo-enrichment services that Esri provide, which allows you to then analyze that site. Now there's a lot of things you can do within this tool. You can do polylines, you can analyze areas within a certain distance of a road, you can set your own polygon, you can set the radius of how far you want to analyze, you can do drive times and various other things. We're just going to do simply a point. We're going to tap next to where we're interested, and what's going on in the background is it's now calculating the demographics of that particular area. So on the back end there's a process that's happening that's going to generate a lot of information about that particular site. That's the area we're looking at that's in the red ring, and on the right hand side is that data about that area. So we've got a breakdown of these various demographic groups which we can dig into if we want to. We've got an option to look at household incomes, and we've got a nice presentation on household incomes. We've also got race and ethnicity we can analyse, and again it produces a graph which shows us that information. The flickering is my iPad, is the software I'm using to demonstrate this, not the iPad itself. And then we can do average household size, which there's no information there in this particular search. And then finally landscape facts. So we've got a lot of information that we can actually analyse dynamically about that particular site whilst we're on site. There's a lot of other things we could have added to this to make that analysis more specific to that particular group that are looking. Let's go ahead and just hide the carousel. Now when we finally got to a point where we're happy with what we've got in terms of the information that we've dynamically collected, suppose we want to store that information, we actually want to produce a report. Well, this tool actually has the ability to generate a report as well. So again, on the back end we're generating a report which shows over time those various statistics that we just were looking at, and in a great more depth. So if we wanted to actually store that information and copy that into Dropbox, we can go ahead and do that. So we've replaced pen and paper with an iPad essentially, and we've now got dynamic data we can produce in the field which we couldn't do before. So this is a really nice integration and a very cool application that we continue to build out. Thanks for watching.